Welcome back. I'm now joined by William Edwards from our business desk. Hello again, William. We're going to start things off with Barack Obama's visit to Burma because, of course, it's not just about promoting democracy, is it?
No, as Burma moves gradually back into the fold of the international community, trade is also on the agenda. Just a couple of months ago, the United States normalised its trade relations with the country. France 24's Cyril Payen has been reporting from Burma on how the Burmese people themselves are seeing these economic developments.
In Burma's commercial capital, Rangoon, American brands are making a big comeback after trade embargoes were lifted earlier this year. At the Ruby Mart, America's most iconic soft drink is already a bestseller.
Well, it's true. American products are very good quality.
It's new for us. It's very good. Customers just love it.
I want to be the #1 seller of American brands. Yes, Obama is coming. We know he's coming for democracy, but he's also coming for business.
I think at the outset, bringing Burma back into the international community was a political move. But since then, it has been about helping American companies' economic interests in the region. They'll be able to come here and invest.
The city's street vendors have replaced their usual newspapers with photocopies of Burma's new foreign investment law.
It's selling like crazy. Everyone wants to know how to make money.
The country is rich in natural resources, with people queuing up to exploit them and help transform this once pariah state into a modern nation. And the Burmese have new dreams: shopping malls, cars, mobile phones, modernity. With more investors and American dollars flooding in, the country is set on course for change. Barack Obama is here to support investments and democracy, but what it will achieve remains to be seen.
We're going to stay with Asia and take a look at how the markets are doing there.
Yeah, well, Tokyo has now closed, but it has kept on extending those gains we've been seeing over the last few trading sessions, closing up over 1.3% there, you can see. That's helped by the fact that the yen has declined against the dollar. Weak yen is, of course, better for Japanese exporters, but it's mainly based on optimism that a new government will be elected next month, with the hopes of further economic stimulus on the way.
And here in Europe, there's a row brewing over the next EU budget.
Yeah, a number of nations are on a collision course over the next budget. For the next 7 years, in fact, this is hoped to be agreed on. The biggest obstacle being at the moment the UK, who, along with Sweden, want perhaps a freeze and, if possible, cuts to the EU budget. Now, the Financial Times has been reporting this morning that Brussels is trying to work out ways of going ahead without the UK. That would involve having to have majority votes every year on the budget for the coming year, rather than just one unanimous vote for 7 years in a row. It would be an administrative nightmare, apparently, but that's what they're thinking of doing. Maybe it's just a bargaining position to get the UK on board. We'll see. But in principle, whilst other states aren't against spending less money, actually getting them to agree to it is very difficult because lots of nations have their treasured assets that they want to protect. France and Spain, for instance, receive a lot of grants from the Common Agricultural Policy, and also cohesion funds. They are money that gets dispersed across Europe to its most impoverished regions, and countries, including Spain, have a lot invested in that, as Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy said just yesterday.
We think the document presented earlier by Mr. Van Rompuy is unacceptable, so we can't support it. I hope we can all reach an understanding and an agreement. I think there's been a radical reduction in the agricultural policies, which is something we can't agree to. We're also poles apart in terms of our cohesion policies.
Turning now to the airline industry, where Scandinavian carrier SAS is fighting for its financial life.
Yeah, now last week they announced a restructuring plan which would see the banks lend them up to €500 million. But this would cut 6,000 jobs and see salaries reduced by around 17%. Obviously, the unions aren't pleased with this idea, and talks have been going on over the weekend. Sunday was supposed to be the deadline, but they have carried on into Monday. And this morning, a deal has been agreed with 2 of the unions, but 6 other unions remain. So the struggle continues for SAS.
All right, we're going to stay with aviation. Virgin Atlantic is going short haul.
Yeah, instead of their usual long-haul routes, they are now competing on short-haul routes as well with their traditional competitor, British Airlines. British Airways, I should say. BA has been forced to give up some of the lucrative routes between London and Scotland in a deal when it merged with Iberia. It had to give up those routes according to competition regulators, and now Virgin has taken them on. They're going to be flying from Heathrow to Aberdeen and Edinburgh, as well as another short-haul route between London and Manchester from March.
Okay, now you may have heard of flash mobbing, where social networks allow huge crowds to turn up out of the blue at specific times and places. Well, now you can be part of a cash mob, a phenomenon that's helping businesses across the US. Katerina Vitosi explains.
Meet the mob that's good for business. This is a cash mob, a financial crisis-busting phenomenon that's shopping its way across America.
It's busy, definitely busy.
The cash mob idea is simple. Residents or business owners can nominate a local shop as a cash mob target. If picked, dates and times are organised via social media. On the chosen day, along comes the shoppers with their wallets. Local organisers think it's a fun and effective way for people to support small businesses in their community.
I like to just come up with things that will help local businesses that are locally owned and operated to support that local economy, which in essence insulates it from the national economy to some degree.
And for the shop owners lucky enough to get mobbed, it can provide a short but sweet cash injection.
Well, in an hour and 20 minutes, we did over $1,000, which is an amazing number for a small independent business.
Cash mobs are mobilising across the United States. Their motto, if we each do a little, we can all do a lot.
And you're going to wrap things up by telling us about a French winemaking tradition that took place over the weekend.
Yeah, that's the wine sale at the Hospice de Beaune. This has been going on for well over 100 years. Originally, this wine sale was to fund the works of the Hospice, the sort of hospital come care home, which was set up in the Middle Ages. Nowadays, the money just goes to regular charities, but it's still raising a lot of money, even though it's been in action for a while. Now, Carla Bruni, the wife of former President Nicolas Sarkozy, was doing the biddings there. You can see she was in charge. Altogether, 5.3 million euros, so pretty good. And she said, actually, for the main lot, if it went above 250,000 euros, you get Nicolas Sarkozy himself delivering it. I don't know whether she meant that, but maybe he'll be on the way soon.
Well, if she promised it, then he should do it, shouldn't
Exactly.
he?
It went to 270,000 euros in the end, the top lot, so there you go.
All right. Thank you very much, William. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned to France 24 for all the latest news coming up in just a few minutes' time.